Hi, I'm going to make a quick expose, if you can hear me beyond my dog barking in the background, about a channel that I found recently called Hellbound Heathen. How I found him, I was looking to see if anyone had done any exposés on the Now You See TV channel, which features John Pounder, John Hall, David Carrico, and oftentimes Bill, former alleged Illuminati witch, Bill Snowabellin. And I've discovered, and it's my belief, well, I've discovered that all of those guys on Now You See TV are crypto-Jews. And they're just putting out disinformation to confuse the poor Christian who comes along, who doesn't bother to read the Bible for him or herself, and just enjoys getting all their information regurgitated to them from these who I think are paid disinfo agents on YouTube, much like Alex Jones. And I came across this guy, and he had a couple of funny bits, making fun of David Carrico, you know, calling him like Jabba the Hutt, and doing a parody on Bill Snowabellin. And Bill Snowabellin has been so brazen, or foolish, probably both, in a couple of videos, I think it's more than one, to wear a yarmulke, a Jewish yarmulke. And here he's trying to claim he's a born-again Christian believer in Christ, and he's wearing a yarmulke, which is the beanie cap that Jews wear, for people that don't know the name of it, also called a kippah. And Bill Snowabellin and all these people on Now You See TV, they're all crypto-Jews. David Carrico, in fact, Carrico is a known Portuguese crypto-Jew name. And also my crypto-Jew Illuminati family comes from the area of the woods. I think Pounder is in Evansville. I've got relatives in Evansville that are, you know, multi-generational Freemason. And let me also say this while I'm making some explanations. Freemasonry is for crypto-Jews. Okay? Now, there may be like a lost Gentile in the bottom there, on the lower degrees, that's used for publicity purposes. But Freemasonry is for crypto-Jews who, because they're pretending to be Christians, they've hidden their Judaism. They go to their lodges to do what Jews do at their synagogues, which is, number one, follow the Talmud, or learn the Talmud, which is the Jewish book. That Jews have nothing to do with the Bible. Forget that. That's just publicity. Number two, practice Kabbalah magic, which is Jewish mysticism. And Kabbalah is like sorcery, witchcraft, magic, whatever you want to call it. And number three, worship Lucifer as their god. Those are the three basic tenets of Judaism. And so you know. So anyway, I come across this fellow, Hellbound Heathen, and like I say, he does have some funny bits where he imitates Snowabellin. But I want you to read the discourse that he and I had before he deletes it, and I'm sure he'll delete it, because I had left him, in fact, oh, here's all 6 replies. Well, first I asked him, and I'm going to see if I can bring this in a tiny bit. No, the other way. Closer. And I asked him last night's roundtable discussion, the reason discussions like that, like the one last night, aren't very fruitful is because the intellectual, I use that term loosely, playing field of the participants is not level. An analogy would be 10 people trying to critique a movie where none of the critics have watched the entire movie but only segments, which therefore yields a half-baked discussion. A question I have for the pro-Hellbound Heathen group is, are any of you Jewish? Do you truly know what is the definition of Judaism? Do you know what are the protocols of the elders of Zion? Do Jews and Christians have anything in common? As 3 of the 4 are yes or no styled questions, I don't expect answering them to be too difficult. Please advise as I'm awaiting your response. Regards, Dagny. and da-da-da. So he responds, you are oblivious to the entire point of the discussion. The point of the discussion was to understand why Sniper Boy believed as he did. It was an inquiry, an exploration of understanding. The majority of the time was spent trying to understand, to reflect, to think, process the information, and then asking for clarification. What intellectuals are you talking about? I thought Sniper Boy handled himself very well. He was thoughtful and intelligent. You are always welcome to come to hang out and either explain yourself, ask questions, or just chat. So then I ask him, in response to the donut question, because he left a question on my discussion page that said he doesn't believe in the Illuminati, that it's all bunk, blah, 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 which we know it's not. I mean, you don't watch the Grammys on TV and watch everybody throwing all these satanic hand symbols and think it doesn't exist. So, and when he said that, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. This guy is just another Jewish disinformation person, much like the people he ridicules. And I found that to be more and more common. The crypto Jews ridiculing the Jews ridiculing the crypto Jews. It's all just theater to waste your time and to take you away from reading the Bible or doing more serious study where it would really help your education. So I asked him then about like I said, if you are a goyim, I have to say you truly haven't a clue what is happening in the world, do you? Not for nothing does the Bible say, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. That's just a Bible quote. Oh, I should have put the site in there. As a last-ditch effort to proffer you a clue, I say this. The Illuminati are all Jews. That much you should have the brains not only to deduce, but also to acknowledge. Even Jabba the Hutt, David Carrico, is a Jew, as are his cohorts, John Pounder and John Hall. Their objective is to promote Protocol of the Learned Elders of Zion, number 16, which says in effect, we will make you stupid. How do I know they are all Jews? For several reasons. The most important one is that all Jews deny the protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion. They have to, as it's part of their disinfo campaign. So anytime you meet somebody that denies that the protocols are real, you know automatically is either a Jew or a crypto Jew. Because you just read the protocols and go down the list, and every one of them that was written about over 100 years ago has come true. So, I mean, it's not rocket science. And what does God say about the Jews in the final Bible book, Revelation? Oddly, that is the most salient part of Revelation, and it was not even brought up in last night's discussion. Like he said, they were trying to have a discussion of Revelation. So I give it to him, and here they are. Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy works, and tribulation, and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews, and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. And exactly one chapter later, in chapter 3, verse 9, behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews, and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. And so I said, okay, I'm out of here, ta-ta. And then he hadn't answered my 4 questions, so I had written him but said, can you answer my 4 questions? If not, can you at least tell me if you're Jewish or not? And he says, I'll answer your questions. Am I Jewish? Why would that matter? Well, that's a typical, he's Jewish, he just wants to hedge. I have an outsider's basic understanding of Judaism. Again, why does that matter? And here we go, more disinfo campaign rhetoric. And then he responds when I ask what are the protocols of the Elders of Zion. It's a Russian anti-Semitic text supposedly based off a secret meeting in 1901 where the Jews are supposed to have some plan to take over the world using the press and banking systems. It was most likely forged by Osman Bey, pen name Frederick Milligan, and is based off the dialogue in Hell between Machiavelli and Montesquieu. It is a complete and utter anti-Semitic forgery. So if this guy wasn't Jewish, why is he so fervently defending Jews? I cannot, next paragraph, I cannot begin to unravel the nonsense here, more disinfo, but if you believe that a group of Jews got together in 1901 to plan to take over the world through controlling the press and banking system and accidentally dropped one of their pamphlets that made its way into Gerald Ford's hands, and I know nothing about that idiotic statement, then you are an absolute fucking imbecile who doesn't know his mouth from his own asshole. The Nazis used this forgery to justify their genocide of Jewish people. They also, I think it's meant to be, decided to throw in gays, gypsies, and everyone else they did not like. I'm going to make that comment in a minute. So I responded to him, and we were going back and forth. I was kind of maybe responding to other stuff he'd said earlier. So I tell him, Jews are Satanists, Luciferians. You are a Satanist, Luciferian. Only a Jew denies the protocols of the learned elders of Zion are real. Only a Jew would respond, why does that matter, when asked if they are a Jew. Only a Jew would deny the Illuminati exists. Only a Jew would ignore the two most salient verses in Revelation in a discussion of Revelation. And I said to him, which was uncharitable and not what I should have said, and I've written him a response to apologize to that, but what I said down here is, I'm 60 and have never yet met a Jew who wasn't a total creep, and that includes my own crypto-Jew relatives, and you are as hellbound as they are. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I do profusely apologize because it's an uncharitable statement, but you have to understand, everybody I know, I'm not talking acquaintances, everybody I know is going to hell. Do you have any idea how much I've cried over that issue? And I lay in bed at night thinking, is there anything I can say to my relatives, to my former friends, to my former colleagues, to my neighbors, who are all worshiping Lucifer, every single one of them. And because I come from that kind of family, you know, I've been in their crosshairs my entire life, and I've been surrounded by these people. Only in the last 4 and 5 years, I never knew about the Illuminati before. I didn't know we were crypto-Jews. That was the family secret kept hidden for 100 years from the few Christians, Jesus believers in the family. My mother and my grandparents went to their graves never knowing the truth about their own brothers, sisters, parents. My great-grandfather was a Freemason because they all pretended to be Christians. I have a cousin, if you've been following me, you know I have a cousin who has sung in his Methodist church choir for 40 years. For 40 years. And I'm sure most of, and that's another thing, crypto-Jews, they go to the churches, and they go to the churches so that they can do witchcraft in the churches. Most pastors are Freemasons. I learned that the pastor who baptized me in 1966 was a Freemason. So they do that to keep the Holy Spirit out of the churches. So anyway, that I do apologize to you, Hellbound Heathen, that I shouldn't have lost my temper, but it just, you know, if there was, and someday you will think in your existence, is there anything Cynthia could have said to me to make me change my mind? But that too, when you follow Lucifer was kicked out of heaven for his pride. And I used to have, and I still have, I have to, constantly like beat myself over the head over my own pride, because God hates pride. He wants us all to be humble. But when you get prideful, your mind closes off to the truth because you think you know it all. Okay, and last comment here. He responded to that. You are a vile, self-loathing, absolute anti-Semite, disgusting human being, whom I will gleefully enjoy, knowing your life will be extinguished one day. As the last breath of your life leaves your body, I hope you reflect on this moment when you read these words and know that I am smiling with pleasure and self-satisfaction. Enjoy the rest of your miserable days. And then here again, my pride got in the way. My ego. Woo-hoo. Self-loathing, that's another catchphrase Jews use to dispel an honest, truthful person who doesn't worship Lucifer. And then again, I just recited the Revelations. And I am going to send him a formal apology. I already have it typed up. I just hadn't posted it because I know he's going to go back and delete all these comments. So, Hellbound Heathen and your cohorts, please know from the bottom of my heart, I wish you no ill will. It would be wonderful if you read the Bible for yourself and that you disengaged from what you've been taught for centuries, the brainwashing that you have experienced. And I know it. I mean, my cousins, everybody. Lucifer is a deceiver. And that's just, and it says in the Bible, people who follow him are both deceivers and are being deceived. And I'll put some of these sites in the notes portion. But that's all I have to say. And Hellbound Heathen, I'm so sorry. I wish we could have had a more measured discourse. And for people out there, this is basically, I want to warn people who are Christians struggling to learn things that have only now beginning to open their eyes to the New World Order, to the Illuminati, as well as to people who may be straddling the fence, whether to join into an occult group or something, for them too to have a better view of what it is you're going to commit to and what's going to happen to you eventually. Because in a nutshell, our existence on this planet, it's basically a test to determine where we will spend eternity, heaven or hell. And in last night's discussion, which you can watch, of course, a lot of people, not only in the people in the discussion, but a lot of people that are in the Luciferian camp or occult camp, they say, well, I don't even want to be part of a God that would do these horrible things to his people. And to put it in easier, simpler terms, let's imagine you have a child, and that child does nothing you ask it to. I mean, from the simplest things, can you keep your room clean? Can you come home on time? Can you let me know? I mean, would you not get exasperated by that child? And it's all about obedience. And this is God. He made us. I mean, he made us. I mean, to grasp all that is still fabulous. I mean, he made us, and he just wants us to be good children. And to love him. And he's like a righteous father who would punish you for doing wrong. We all know there are those fathers that are like, yeah, whatever, kid, do what you want. And then there's a father who cares enough about you to punish you, to make you want to do better, to be a good person. But so yeah, God is righteous, and he does punish, and he does send people to hell. And okay, I've already gone longer than I wanted to. That's all I have to say. Thank you.